It's described as one of the worst prisons in the world, and for the last 10 months, a Canadian man has been jailed there by Egyptian officials. Yasser Al-Baz's family hasn't seen him for more than 1 year now and are questioning whether everything is being done to bring him back home to Oakville.
Every single morning, we're going to wake up and we're going to fight for my father's freedom.
Weddings, birthdays, and anniversaries are just some of the milestones Yasser Al-Baz missed this year. The last time his family spoke to him was in February, when the 51-year-old was boarding a plane back to Canada from Egypt. He had left 2 months earlier for a business trip he had taken many times before. Only this time he didn't return, and no one knows why.
The Canadians don't know anything, and it seems like the Egyptians don't know anything, because even our lawyers on the ground have no access to any information. My father is not in a trial. He has not been charged with anything. He has not been accused with anything.
Since earlier this year, he's been inside Tora prison, a jail that's been flagged for its human rights violations and abuses towards inmates, notorious for detaining political prisoners. But Yasser's family says their father, who owns a business in Oakville and is well known in the GTA, is far from political.
I know that my father's health is deteriorating. He has been suffering from several health concerns. My uncle is able to visit him occasionally.
No one knows about the evils of Tora prison more than Tariq Lubani. The Canadian doctor and humanitarian was jailed in 2013. Like Yasser, he was arrested but never charged, spending 53 days there in some of the worst conditions ever.
We were abused constantly. We were tortured. We were denied the ability to do simple things like go outside or get exercise or eat in a timely fashion. I mean, there's mold everywhere. There are literally thousands of cockroaches.
Lubani, along with human rights groups around the world, have called on the Canadian government and especially Justin Trudeau to apply more pressure on the Egyptian government.
It is not reasonable to wait for Egyptian, in quotation marks, justice to take its course. There is no justice in Egypt today. It is a military dictatorship, and there is no democracy. There is no rule of law. What that does mean is that pressure from governments will make things move and will give his family justice.
It's unclear what strides, if any, the Canadian government has made since Yasser was detained earlier this year. We asked for an update from the new Minister of Foreign Affairs, François-Philippe Champagne, about the nature of Yasser's detention and what steps Global Affairs has taken. The press secretary said the minister met with Egyptian counterparts during a recent trip to Aswan and, quote, raised the case directly with him. We will continue to raise it at the highest levels of the Egyptian government, and consular officials will remain in regular contact with local authorities.
That same minister continues to come back empty-handed to our officials, even though they know this is a top issue for Canada and Egypt. And to me, this is reflective more on Canada than Egypt and our government's ability to demand a commitment and to release my father.
In addition to Lubani, Amnesty International has been vocal in calling on Egyptian authorities to release Yasser and, quote, many other Egyptians who are detained without charge.